All right, and last but not least, let me talk about Mando, boy.
You know, the Baby Yoda show.
Yes, the Baby Yoda show, the Lone Wolf and Cub show, right?
I should say before we start, yeah. So you know, spoilers.
Spoiler.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I'll straight up start. Yeah, so you know, apparently Disney have boards in Atlanta. You know, because panda. I mean, wow, this was a pandering season, boy. But
Yeah.
it was good. It's good pandering. I don't none of
Yeah.
it I hated. Per
Yeah.
se.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought it was just a bit much with the pandering. I didn't hate it, but it's a bit much. That's all I'll say. I
Yeah.
thought this season just had a lot of great action. They clearly cater to that extended universe crowd. You're not sure, but you're wondering if they deliberately going out of their way to like just cater to that crowd, all the people who hate Last Jedi, say, yeah, like do the thing, man, and then just go through with that because they know that will sell. And look, because I'm not a Star Wars fan, I feel like this be on the sideline of this whole argument. And I just do tell you why I
See me
like
here too. See me here.
right.
Because you know it will have the fans who'll come and say, well, you know, I was well before I get to my get to the synopsis, because like even like I was watching like reviews of the final episode in particular, which we'll talk about. I didn't
Yeah,
really talk about it's just decisions behind the scenes,
right.
and because this thing happened and that thing happened, that's why. But it's like I really need to think about all that and be, offended or feel let down because certain things happen in shows. Like, no, I just
Right.
come to be
No,
entertained and,
no. As I say, yeah. So how I see it is that okay. So there's a person who has been doing some reviews of the show, and I've been like, I don't like, I completely agree with everything he's saying, but because I'm not a big Star Wars person, I'm not expecting anything, and I'm gonna say it. I was gonna say it before we start. Kind of a hot take, right? It's a lava take. The take is you can't really subvert Star Wars and get away with it for too long. The fans just don't want that shit at all. Like, look, I like the Last Jedi, but the Last
me,
Jedi
me, me too. Me too.
the
I
Last Jedi,
defend that.
Last Jedi do a little bit of subversion, nothing special, nothing major, and people just had a complete,
Yeah,
meltdown, right, over that
meltdown,
shit,
dread,
over that, and also,
online petition to
yeah,
erase the show from
right,
existence.
and all that
What?
bullshit. So, yes, and all that bullshit. So the thing is, Favreau and them and Filoni and them just going back to the well. They cater to the fan base in a classical sense. They bring Ahsoka Tano. They have freaking which name by the Katie Sackhoff character. She in it.
Oh, I'm gonna pull it
Bo-Katan.
up. Is yeah,
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan, yeah.
Bo-Katan. And then they have Fennec coming through. Boba Fett come back.
Boba Fett, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get this fella from episode 2 now. What do you call him? They get he to come back. Like it's just bare, callbacks and references and pandering. And I didn't hate any of it because it's like I'm not super invested in Star Wars. I just enjoy the story. So they can't really subvert Star Wars. Sorry to say it. I don't think you could subvert Star Wars and get away with it. The fan base would just not feel that. And from what I understand, like Ryan Johnson does seem to be like I don't know what Ryan Johnson doing. Like somebody I read some news that he probably got fired because he's also doing his own trilogy, but I didn't see anything of that. Whatever. I don't think he got fired. That is, pure speculation. But the usual hate crowd was putting up that noise now. And I was like, well, this is what it is. It is what it is, as they say. It's just they just make a Baby Yoda show. Giancarlo Esposito was pretty good in it. I thought he was pretty awesome actually. This season. But they play it. They play to the crowd. They just straight up play the as I say, you play the greatest hits. And I can't tell them no. I can't tell them no. It's like, well, yeah, this is just dirty business, but that is what it is. It is what it is at this point. And I can't tell them no. What am I do? So and that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the show itself, I mean, to me, that's how it's supposed to be anyway. That's how it's designed,
Yeah.
to function. I mean, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, in a kind of a nutshell, what it's about is, our favorite, Mandalorian character, the cowboy slash bounty hunter slash
Right.
samurai guy, and the Baby Yoda, aka the child, whose name has been revealed. We'll get
Yeah,
to that.
we learn what it
Yeah,
is, yeah.
So now, from the events of the last season, I mean, he's told through
Right.
his one of his Mandalorian mentors that, the baby, sorry, the child belongs to, or at least needs to reunite with his own kind. And there was these sorcerers called the Jedi, right? So his mission now is basically to, get him back to his home, or at least to someone who knows where it is, right? So through
Yes.
some circumstances, he finds out exactly where this place is, right? He has to do a little side mission. He has to he has to drop off this frog lady, which I thought was
Right. Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. That's
This
episode.
this character to meet her husband, and she has
Right.
eggs and all that kind of stuff. Along the way, he meets some a band, basically just a trio, basically of Mandalorians themselves.
Right. Right. With
Um,
the katana and her two comrades. Right.
yeah, Bo-Katan. I forgot the other guy, but the woman who was the Cosca Reeves, which I
Right.
felt was funny because it was like Keanu. It's almost like they was trying to spell Keanu, but whatever. Played by McGill. Well, okay. WWE ring name Sasha Banks. It was like, oh yeah, she was there, right? Remember that was a
Right.
thing. Yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, I thought that she was great in that, right? Well, just the little scenes that she was in. Yeah. So true. Well, while he helps them out with this particular mission, um, Bo-Katan basically mentions the fact that Giancarlo's character, that would be Moff Gideon,
Right.
he has the dark saber,
Yeah.
right, which is the
Which
weapon that he was
yeah,
rocking near the
yeah, in the
end.
end, in the finale, yeah,
Yeah,
in the
in
season
the
one.
finale, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And well, it's this Mandalorian weapon she wanted because once she has it,
Right.
she could claim the throne of
Right.
this
Yeah, and all of that
presumed
is
destroyed planet called Mandalore, right? So
right. Right.
there's all that going on, right? The
Right.
process, of course, he runs into Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano. Of course, oh gosh, Carl Weathers' character shows up. Graf Kaga
Right.
as well too. They have a little side
Yeah,
mission as well
he
too.
directed an episode which was great.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did. Yeah, we'll talk about the episodes. So yeah, and yeah, while all this is going on too, in the process, well, as he finds out the Jedi who he has to meet to find out what's going on, the Jedi turns out to be none other than Ahsoka Tano herself, played by Rosario Dawson,
Right.
and she tells him exactly what it is you have to do. Right. While all this is going on too, Boba Fett returns because
Right.
we were all like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. He showed
well, I
up.
love how they hinted out from the word go because the debut episode involved a character, well, we call him the Marshal because it's part of this sort of desert town. He was rocking
The
Boba's,
armor.
armor now.
Armor. Right.
So we all assume, okay, well, he died basically, you know what I mean? And he just got it off of some Jawas, right? Sorry, Jawas picked it up and then he
Right.
bought it from them. But we saw near at the very end that
Right.
Boba's actually alive, right? And
Right.
yes, he acquires his suit and we realize even though he's old, he's a badass, like
Yeah. He's
oh
still a beast. Yeah.
my
Yeah.
god, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, all that being said though, together they have to team up basically. All the heroes that we mentioned before basically have to team up to stop Moff Gideon because yeah, he kidnaps Yoda because they want to do some tests on him. They want
Right.
to acquire his blood. They don't really say what
Yeah.
they
Yeah. We
blood
still don't know
for, but
the
maybe it's the
yeah.
whole midi-chlorians bullshit that I
Right.
hated from
Yeah. But we
episode
still
one, something like that.
yeah, we still don't know what the end game of that is exactly.
Yeah,
So hopefully we'll learn that. And well, remember with Disney launching the whole chicanery thing and the whole all of the whole they had to learn from this and that and the other. They have a bunch of shows coming out. Uh
yes, that's right.
so this was just look again. I'm not hating on Star Wars per se, but there's a bunch of ads,
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
ads
yeah.
and stuff, right? So it
It's a
was
bunch
like
of you want to
well,
learn more about this character? Tune in
right,
next year for
and you have to buy this and you have to buy the macaroons. They made out a little cookie. They sell the cookie.
What?
But
Wait, serious?
yes, dog, they selling the cookie. They selling the
Well,
cookie.
I should
Real
not be
drip.
surprised by this
I
though,
tell
but
him that is,
wow.
I would like Disney.
What we're laughing at, guys, is that basically there was a scene involving the child basically uses force powers to steal a kid's cookies.
Yeah,
He's
blue
green,
cookie. Yeah.
green. Well, green is green.
Bluish green.
Oh,
Bluish green.
blue screen, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I wait. They actually put that out
I
for
tell you,
real.
yeah, the cookie there. You can look it up. The cookie there. They selling the cookie.
Wow.
I think Corey Coleman had
Jeez.
a whole bit. I think Corey
He's
Coleman had a
going
whole
to
bit
somebody. Like, come on, Lucas. Come on.
in business. I tell you, in business. Royal dreadness.
Yeah.
I
But
think expensive as hell too.
well, not surprised. I mean, yeah, you
Yeah.
had to pay up on a crown for friggin' cookies, right? This is the where we at, right? But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the season as well too.
Yeah.
But in my case, like I was watching it, like like oh my god, all these deep cuts and all this kind of stuff and reference
Yeah,
to
yeah,
this. It's like, oh well, I kind of picked up on, oh, this is a reference to this, reference to that, but it wasn't like to the point I had to stop and be like, oh my god. I mean,
yeah.
it
For
just
me,
follows from what they have done from the last season, what John Favreau has been doing. I mean,
right,
just telling these simple, straightforward, but really entertaining stories. But he will, will connect the dots to, different,
right.
Star Wars lore and films
I
and stuff.
felt,
I
yeah,
like that.
I felt it did a good job of just saying, well, look, um, you know, you don't have to remember this, that, or the other, but you should enjoy it for what it is. You don't have to remember this and you don't have to remember that. But you should, and to me, anybody who, here's the thing, this is for people who don't be super into Star Wars. So they kind of remember it, but it'll also reward the fans at the same time. Unfortunately, they kind of carried it a little too far because basically this whole season was just, well, rewarded the fans as well. But the people who are not fans and just kind of just watching the stuff for what it is, it still give them thing because a lot of it was just basically what you kind of remember, right? It's the Darth Vader scene at the end of Rogue One. It's that, right? That
Yes,
is this
yes.
whole season. Whole
Mhm.
season is that. So I couldn't be, but I'm not mad at that because I kind of enjoyed the Darth Vader sequence. It was empty, but it didn't have to be deep or anything emotionally, no, because it does make it all about that. Could they have done more with this? Of course. Fine, but I don't know. Star Wars, I sorry, Star Wars can't be deep, John. Like they will just they
No,
heavily
no.
resistant to Star Wars being deep, John.
Yeah.
I know that people will tell me, nah, Star Wars could be deep and that. But everybody seemed to be like invested in Star Wars not being deep. Just say no. They just reject it. Like so I just reading this whole thing. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
that's about it. I mean, I can't be mad at what it was. So yeah, let's talk about the big beats now.
Well, all right.
Let's go through the
What
episodes.
I was gonna say though, I mean, we could just we'll just run through. We're not gonna run through like all the episodes. We're not gonna do things
Right,
episode by episode, but I'll just kind of mention the flow of it, all right, and then
right.
just pick on the great moments or the memorable moments, right? So one thing I really dug with this season here is that it feels like there is a tighter narrative going on, right?
Yeah,
So how the last season felt like they were just like these little random adventures, but they were tied in somehow to learning about something or some big reveal or whatnot.
right.
Here, it felt like, okay, there's an adventure, there's a mission basically. So it's like, okay, we need to get, the child to the Jedi, or we need to get him to his home, right? So this is the mission. Here's where I have to go. This is the person I have to talk to. This is what I have to, the task I have to, complete before I get to this next stage, right? So it feels
Yeah,
like that. And I didn't mind that. The like from the first episode, him having to go to this town and save the townspeople from this dragon. Really dug that as well. And yeah, they have callbacks to and you hope, what I mean, well, because it's on Tatooine, right? So it's like weird, right? Um, but I really dug how it just kind of led to the next episode, which is the passenger. I was a
yeah,
little iffy on the whole thing about, having to take this frog lady and she eggs. That kind of
yeah.
thing. Like it had me laughing at some points, especially with the child that's really going into the
Yeah, eating
little
the eggs.
thing, yeah, the little container with the frog eggs and the swallowing them.
Right.
But yeah, what I mean, where they went with it was pretty cool as well. But from there, this was where it kind of picked up for me because that's where I saw the band of Mandalorians, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan and how much of a
Yeah, and
badass she is and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
all
That's
of
where
that,
they pick up for me.
and all of that from Clone Wars and all these
Yes.
cartoons, right?
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Clone Wars
and just
and
the little mission that they
Rebels.
did having to sneak into this ship with these stormtroopers and this wiping them out though. I thought was pretty badass, right?
Yeah,
So the next episode, we have the siege. That was pretty cool as well, though. We have like a nice little mission where they have to sneak in and just literally blow shit up and have it has a nice little chase scene in it as well too. But at the very end when it's show is Carl Weathers director, like what?
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
man doing action scenes and stuff. That
Mm.
cool. But to me, one of the big highlights though is the Jedi though. That was the one where
Yeah,
people and
I
I just
totally.
lost their minds. That was one of my favorite episodes. Dave Filoni directed it.
Yeah,
That's a reason why it's great. But
yeah,
just because it has that that Asian, that sort of kung fu samurai vibe, you know what I mean? Where you have the Mandalorian character going up against the villain in this case, which she just has. There's this great scene with her fighting with a spear, and it just reminded me of just old school, wuxia films and all that kind of stuff. And of course, seeing Ahsoka in
Yeah.
live action, played by Rosario Dawson. I thought that she killed it as well too. She nailed the old she felt literally like she was what she was. I mean, just a
Yeah.
old version of this character. Now.
Yeah.
Having seen a lot, experienced a lot, knowing the how just what the Jedi went through now. And just basically telling Mando that I mean you won't be able to take care of him, but we have to basically send him to well, so basically what it is that he has to Mando has to take him to this mountain.
Right.
There's
A
this little
stone. I
structure
forget what
there.
it is. I
Yeah,
forget what it
some
is, but it's a stone, and the stone is basically will contact other Jedi. So Jedi,
yeah. This
Jedi,
sort of
Jedi
like beacon
pulse.
force
Right.
beacon pulse comes
Yeah.
out, right? So yeah. And just in terms of just the visuals, the cinematography, the music, which is very martial arts inspired. I really dug
Yes.
that.
Ludwig Göransson did. Yeah.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
he does the music for all these for all he does the music for this show, and yeah, he totally knocks it out of the park. Like right now, he is my favorite, one of my favorite composers right now, who
Yeah.
fairly young because a majority of them, I mean, like your Hans Zimmers and them,
Yeah.
they
That's
they
what.
they're mostly older, but in this case is like, what I mean, he's probably like my age or even like less or whatever. And the man like crafting some great scores. And I mean, the theme song like that sticks in your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Right.
thought that the music that he did here was great. The moments with Ahsoka was great. And big thing that people went crazy for. The child's name was finally revealed. So
Right.
it's Grogu. Yeah,
Grogu. Yeah.
Grogu. And this is a really really cute moment where Mando is saying Grogu, and Grogu's going I
Yeah.
was like,
That's good.
oh, that's real
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, that's for the ladies. The ladies will just be like, oh, you know what I mean? But yeah, I love this episode. I don't know if you have anything else to weigh in on the Jedi episode.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Pretty good episode actually. It's actually probably one of the better episodes ultimately. In my opinion. Overall. But yeah, is the really Japanese stuff, and you get to see the best car metal for the first time. You get to see
Yes.
Ahsoka in action, that kind of stuff. And well, she gets your own show too, so boy.
Yeah. Which I'm excited for, boy. So yeah, they kind of doing a bit of the CW kind of stuff, like what he was doing with the superhero stuff. Like, yeah, we'll introduce a character here, but don't worry if you want more, wait for the spin-off series, right? So it's kind
Yeah.
of like that. Then we have the tragedy, which I was shocked that friggin' Robert Rodriguez direct this. And I make a
Right.
joke that
Yeah, he pretty much
Tarantino want to make his R-rated Star Trek episode, but Robert Rodriguez we could come in and be like, I at least I get to do an episode of the Mandalorian, though, you know what I mean?
mhm.
Because like I have a feeling that Tarantino is not going to do it. I think that he should like his 10th film should be a sci-fi film. That's just me.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Star Trek, just saying. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that Robert did this. I thought that yeah, for the most part it was solid, but it's nothing like oh my god, this is something that Robert would do. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
felt like oh every episode has been, right? That's the one thing about this show, though, is like you wouldn't stop and be like, that look like what? Like this shot look like the kind of shot this man will make. Like no,
Right.
everything feels like it's John Favreau. He
Right.
will just basically want you to just come with the creativity, like what moment you want in the story. But the directing and the style and everything, like film wise, will look pretty much the same now.
Right. Right.
Yeah, man. Here the tragedy. Well, this is where we see Boba Fett. I was surprised to see Fennec, played by McGill Ming Na
Right.
Wen. I was like,
Yeah, she
what?
come back. Yeah, she come back in.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, what,
Well, all
right?
right. So at the end of that episode where we thought she died, she
Right.
came
That was
back.
with the sort of wannabe. Oh, sorry, it wasn't a wannabe. He was just like a bounty, and then this was like one of his first missions. Yeah.
Right. Right. But with the episode, we had somebody going to rescue her. So yeah, a lot of fans thought that was Boba Fett, and that was the payoff.
Yeah. But
Right.
seeing Boba Fett do was just like it was awesome, but just the way how he moved though, because like he had this sort of like stick kind of thing, and how he was just wasting away
Yeah.
Stormtrooper after Stormtrooper was
Yeah.
so badass. So there's a moment
Right.
I had to rewind it though, where he literally like busts a guy helmet though,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
straight down the nose, like
Stormtroopers. Oh
God
god.
damn.
Stormtroopers have never been more trash than they have ever been than this series, boy. God
I
damn.
know, boy,
God damn
but in this
Stormtroopers.
case, but it's
Well,
like, wow, you
yeah.
just wasting away, you just
Right.
wasting them out though. Like this is the moment. Like if they see that going even further, this would have been like a TV major. Just
You know?
just for
Yeah.
how just for how
Right. And then
blatantly violent it was.
yeah, they get, and then when he get back his armor, that was pretty badass too. I mean, like, holy shit, he ramp up himself even more.
Yeah, it works. And I just love what oh gosh, the actor who plays him
I forget his name. Yeah.
let me put it up. Tamura Morrison.
Tomorrow, yeah. Mars, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Who I know I've seen him in shows before, but I just need to kind of familiarize myself with him now because he just has that face. Like you remember him from a show, but it's like what
Right.
was the show? You just can't remember, but he just has that face, right? But yeah, though I thought that he was just badass as his old version of Boba. I love that they
Yeah.
brought up his father Django and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And
They
they
do
bring up
right.
the whole
So
thing that
why he
Django
only
himself was a
right.
Mandalorian. But
All right. So
in the
no,
end, which you'll
Django,
get to, they kind of
Django,
mention that maybe his father was a clone, or maybe Boba was a
no,
clone or something.
no, we know that. Well, okay, so no, well, we know Bobo is a clone. That was established in episode 2.
All right. Yes,
Django,
I forgot. I forgot. I
right?
forgot.
Yeah, Django is a foundling, much like Mango, much like Din Djarin. So
Yes, yes, yes.
it's the same claim. That why he acknowledge him now, because it's the same thing. Anyway, it's just that.
I feel they mentioned that in two, but once again, I
What
haven't seen two in ages, right? So
mentioned what
I
into
forgot. I forgot.
that he
Right.
was a foundling.
I wonder if they did. That's why I asked. And I wonder
I
if
don't
he did
remember.
bring it up. If
The thing is,
Django himself brought it up in episode 2. Now.
the thing is, they almost never mention the term Mandalorian even at all until now, no? Barely. So it's like it's only a thing that they do after the fact. Anyway, whatever.
Right. Okay. And it was also cool seeing Boba's ship again. You know what I mean? Which I
Yes,
always
right.
thought was like a
Slave
real
one.
cool design. I really
Yeah,
love that.
the slave one. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, well, now we have the Dark Troopers, which, yeah,
Right.
if I have a gripe, is one of those, yeah, these kind of cliche black,
Flatter. Yeah.
flat, creature. Sorry,
The thing is, I wanted.
robots. I mean,
Yeah, I
it
wanted them
it,
to.
it kind of reminded me a lot. Like it just felt a little too. Forgive me for saying this. Felt too MCU for me.
Right.
Or the way,
I
like
know. I
we just
personally.
have the generic
Right.
Sentinel. Well, yeah, I know
Right.
X-Men MC, right? But yeah,
Right.
generic robots. And here we are.
Yeah, they didn't work for me because they weren't that interesting. They weren't smart. They were pretty dumb. They're just tough. And
Yes.
I didn't. Again, they could have do some more with them in it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like
but
I'm
this
supposed to fear these guys, and I'm just like,
right.
not really.
They're just
And if
kind of
I just
they're
have
just tough.
one, yeah, this have one little gripe with Ludwig's music, because okay, like I love the fact that even though he's harkening to John Williams stuff and he's making things very epic and orchestral, he'll slip in a little hip hop, he'll throw in a little trap,
Right.
drums and whatnot. But
Yeah.
here, where like in the final episode, when they bring back the Dark Troopers, it's this kind of cliche '90s, techno music that they play,
Yeah.
and it just sounds like I don't know, like I'm watching Power Rangers or something.
Yeah. Then
Yeah, it
I
just
know
didn't
what you're
work.
talking
It
about.
didn't work. Like, but
Uh,
I like that Ludwig could experiment with different, genres and whatnot. But yeah, in that moment it was just like, no, this sounds a little too '90s, right? Like, dial it back a little bit.
mm,
So now, fine, the last episode, sorry, second to last episode, we have The Believer.
yeah.
This was one
This
that didn't quite play out the way that I expected, but I
yeah.
still dug it, right?
Yeah, no,
Um,
this is my personal favorite episode of this season.
okay,
Um
okay, okay.
yeah,
I
mostly
think
because
it's
right.
because well, Bill Burr and yeah,
Yeah,
like I did not
but his
expect.
arc. Yeah.
Yes, for one
So
thing, I did not expect Bill Burr to return, and
right.
also there's a great moment with him where
Yeah.
where basically it's just him and Mando sneaking into this specific this Empire run facility, right? Basically just to get some coordinates as to
Right.
where Gibson is where gosh, I get any name wrong. One sec. Where Moff is
Moff
Atna.
Gideon. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gideon.
and you get this moment where it's basically this conversation scene with one of the generals now,
Yeah.
and you see like Bill just like
Yeah, the
well,
crisis of
yeah,
conscience.
yeah, boy, and how he reacts,
Right.
it's just like
What it
wow.
remind me of a little bit was it had kind of two Tarantino moments there. It felt a little bit like
Oh, Inglorious Bastards, yeah.
Glorious Bastards, and then a little bit of Django Unchained. You know, the character who you thought is the cynical one ended up being the moral one, the big moral
Yes,
crusader one, right?
yeah,
You know,
you're right,
my
you're right.
my what's this Doctor Schultz, Doctor King Schultz now?
Yeah. You
Uh,
didn't expect you would pull out the gun and shoot at
right.
Leonardo's character, no?
Right,
Yeah.
same thing. That's how it felt. Same scene. So it's the very same arc, and it worked. I thought that was great. And his character out of all people, though.
Yeah. I really,
So,
really
yeah.
dug that.
So,
And you
so
know,
I forget what he,
and even gets the final shot though. I was like,
right.
nice.
Yeah. I forget the name of the event that they caused, but it's an event. It's show up in one of the games. But I forget the
All
name of
right.
the. Is this event?
It's from what I'm reading here. It's Operation Cinder. This
Cinder,
was
right?
brought
Yeah.
up in Star Wars Battlefront 2, which
Right. It's one of the
I
games. Yeah.
have not played. So
Yeah. It's one
yeah,
of the
yes.
games.
So you see, this is how deep this show is. Right? We
That's the thing.
referenced video games here, Jared.
But yeah, that was it. It's again panda for the fans, right? It's yeah, you play this game. Remember this game?
Panda. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I this is my favorite episode. This one works. I really like enjoyed for what it was.
And
Anyway,
also points for the Mad Max Fury Road chase scene.
yeah, in the
I was like,
beginning,
okay, let's
I
put it,
forget what
let's
that's
switch
our
it.
old
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
our
yeah.
old show in the new 70s. That was around the time Star Wars came out. And forget the name of the show. Where they had to drive trucks of napalm in Vietnam or something like that. It's slipping my mind right now.
This is Sorcerer, right?
Probably yes, I think so.
Yeah. William Friedkin. I saw the show once and I need
Right.
to watch it over. I remember,
Good.
CC Scene is one of his best works, but I really need to watch it over because, yeah,
Right.
people see that it is one of William's best films, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Right.
it's pretty much that. It's this because Mando had a ton of homages and things to the past and recent films and good westerns and whatever it is. We know that. So that was one. That's what I was thinking of because like there's a movie with the exact same scenario, and that's what
And there's another film actually that does the same thing called I just remember The Wages of Fear. It's a
right.
classic French thriller, but it involves driving with trucks with flammable liquid, and we have to do
Yeah.
this before blah blah blah, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I need to check that movie out too, right? But anyway, yeah.
So
And
that's
now
it.
we have
The
final
finale.
episode, the rescue,
Yeah.
and yes, very fan servicey, but at the same time, I was
Yeah.
just
It's good.
digging
It's
everything
good
about
fun.
it. Yeah.
It's good fun service.
Yeah, so if it is our one gripe, once again, is them dark troopers, and then when they run
Yeah.
that music, it's like
Yeah.
But I
No,
love how they got wiped out, but we'll get to that a bit.
yeah, no, you're right. So the Dark Troopers kind of dumb. They're kind of slow. They're just tough. That's the whole point of them. They're just tough. And I felt they could have done more with them. I'll say so. It was going good, going good. They do the Dark Troopers. He fight the Dark Trooper. I felt they could have done more with Giancarlo there, but it's like, well, he grabbed Grogu and him reuniting with Grogu. I felt should have had a better emotional payoff. No, he just come back and going back to the thing to give the girl the sword just to start explaining about this. I'm like, what? I thought it's about him and Grogu. Like, keep to that.
Yeah. I see what you
Uh,
mean.
right,
I really did dig the fight though. I just wish that it could have gone on. I just felt like it was going good. It was going good. It was real intense. And
right,
then somebody slips up and that's it. Boom,
yeah,
knock your weapon off. The
yeah,
end. And that was it.
right.
Like okay. Um,
Um,
but other than that though, just to talk briefly about the whole sword thing. It feels logical, the whole idea that you have to fight me, and for the
fight,
sword, and if
right.
if you're defeated, I take it, right? But I was trying to remember if that was the same way how Moff got the sword in the first
I
place.
suspect that. I suspect
But did
that.
he
I
kill
can't
his
remember.
opponent or something? But
No, he took it. He took
because
it from her. He
right.
defeated her, but he took it from her and left. He didn't kill her. He didn't kill her.
Right.
He just said, "Book in Clone Wars, she had it. I think so. I think in Clone Wars she had it, or
Okay.
Rebels. I can't remember which one.
All right.
Either
Well,
Clone
I'm
Wars or
not
Rebels.
familiar with those two shows, so then no.
Right.
Right.
So one of those two shows, I think she had it already in those two shows. Last time, she was the last wielder of it. So that's why she had to have it proper and she had to win it proper. But then they didn't
Yeah.
pay it off now. And then he
That,
decided
yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
and
And it
then
was
he
real played
shot
it
her.
off like, and it was real
Yeah.
played it off as if, well, one of us has to die.
Right, right. I
It was
thought I was
real
where
played that off there a little too much.
yeah. And then they just ignored it. And then Gideon shoots her. So it's like, all right, well, okay. I don't think she's dead, but like she just gets shot, right? Um,
Yeah,
I think that's what they're going with. And then, all right, so we had to get to the obviously the big moment.
of course, of course.
I
So
will just,
well, all right, you said.
I know. So I will just say I have some money quarterbacking about it, but you go ahead.
All right, well, fine. You know what I mean? Thanks for throwing the ball to me, right? So, yes, the big moment, folks, is Luke Skywalker himself returning
Yeah,
because Grogu was kind of using a bit of his force powers to kind of reach out to a Jedi. And the whole
but
beacon thing from
right,
early on as well too, right? So yeah, it just so happens to be Luke himself. And I was there like, okay, I want to see the face. I want to see the face. Because the moment where you see the green colored lightsaber, you know it's him, right? You know it's him. And he's just wasting away these dark troopers, you know what I mean? Just easy.
Right.
Like, all right, I'm waiting. And then the moment comes, he lifts up the hood, you see it, and I clap. Because I was like, all right, like if I was in the audience, I would be clapping too. Like everyone would be, losing their shit now. But at the same time too, I could let the deepfake slide. This is
Right.
I kind of knew that this is what they had to do. They had to
Right.
do
So
this.
yeah. All right.
Unfortunately, they didn't show too much of him, especially like close-ups, for you to
Yes.
be like,
It's
well, that face though,
it's
it
the
was just
two
enough.
things. It's the two things I hate in Rogue One in one moment. Right. It's the
All
Darth
right,
Vader.
okay,
It's basically Luke's equivalent of the Darth Vader moment.
uh-huh,
It's the
uh-huh,
same, very similar. And then the deepfake thing. IRL can't stand a deepfake thing, good.
yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
I
okay,
felt
so with the first part with the Darth Vader reference, you just
right
felt like it was just there for the audience to go, oh my
for the
god,
audio.
and scream down the
Right.
place, right?
And
Yeah,
the thing
which
is,
it
here's the
is,
thing.
it's that.
Here's my problem with the scene, right? The scene was just so clumsy and slow in terms of the Dark Troopers. I felt Luke, again, this Monday morning quarterbacking, but I felt Luke should have come a little later. And they should have really be fighting the Dark Troopers. Like, they're catching their ass, they actually fighting the Dark Troopers, and then he coming to help. Whatever, it's Monday morning quarterbacking. He did it. All they was doing is just punching the door, and then they now get through. They didn't actually fight the Dark Troopers. Whatever. Then, my big other problem is I hate the deepfake thing. Sorry, they should have get Sebastian Stan, who's look like a young young Mark Hamill,
Yeah,
and
yeah. That's
do a
true.
real
That is
person.
true.
Sorry, I have zero patience with the deepfake thing. I have no. You don't need to do it. If you could get away with it and you have no other option, then fine. But you don't need to do it. And get a real actor. Sorry, get a real actor.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, this
I know, but it clearly they did that for the fans, right? Clearly
yeah,
they did it for the people who just had to
the,
see,
yeah, the eyes
Mark
of the
Hamill's
yeah,
young face himself, because
yeah,
remember
yeah.
is the timeline of the
I know,
series,
I
that
know. It's
that
like yeah,
that's
it's 5 years. It's 5 years after Jedi. I get that, but they should just get Sebastian Stan. He's look like young Mark Hamill. Get
yeah.
Sebastian Stan. Get a real actor. Because my problem is that you have to have him emote with Baby Grogu. That's the problem. So it's like this dead-eye creature try to emote with. You have this fake-looking puppety dead-eye creature, and then you have Grogu, right? Um,
Right.
so
Yeah,
that is my problem with that. It's just
yeah.
it kind of fall flat in that thing. And the whole sequence, look, I nothing about the sequence was that surprising. I knew they had to do like an entity as strong as Grogu. It had to be Luke. It couldn't be anybody else.
Yeah.
I knew it was him. Like I didn't think it would be anybody else coming. So I knew a Jedi had to come. It was either that or maybe at best Ahsoka come back to help them. Maybe. Right, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I would have loved to see her show back up at some point in time.
right.
Because, yeah,
Well,
like the final episode went out of the way to bring back characters that we saw before. Not a lot,
right.
but enough, right?
They
Like,
could have had the characters from Fallen Order. That would have been cool if they revealed those characters. If they came in, that would have
mm,
been kind of cool. But it's like, yeah, it had to be Luke. It's like once you see the green, and I know once you see a single X-wing, it's like, yeah, it's Luke.
yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah,
And then the green lightsaber was like, all right, that's clearly Luke. There's
yeah,
only one
yeah,
person with a green
yeah,
lightsaber around
only
this
him,
time.
yeah.
Around
Um,
this time, yeah,
and here's the thing, like, I love the fact that we saw R2D2 again. I was like, what? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Seeing the OG characters, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
we get a genuinely heartwarming moment with well, yeah, you know what I mean, with Mando having to give up Grogu, right? And
yeah,
like he takes off the helmet and
yeah.
it's Pedro tear it up. It's like, oh, okay, like that, right? And yeah, it was just really, it was just a really powerful moment, though, I must say. And yeah, just them parted ways was really nice as well. But I in my head, I still think that of course one day they're gonna reunite again. Because the whole idea is that Luke has to train him now. You know what I mean? So that's
That's the
cool.
thing.
Here's where the fanboys go to pick at the shooter, because at the with the events of the Last Jedi, with his temple being burnt down and whatnot, and all of his students dying
Right,
um except for
right,
Kylo Ren, who escaped.
right,
Now we all wondering, well, Grogu survived one massacre, so he gonna die in this one too, or did he survive
maybe right,
here?
right, right,
Because
right.
because it's being specifically clear though that yeah, his kind was wiped out, maybe because all we just saw was just ghosts, ghost Yoda, Force Ghost Yoda,
Right.
in that film now.
I do think after the events of episode 9, Grogu's still alive. I do believe that.
I
Um,
would love to think so too, but
Me too, yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I just feel like it's it's kind of there to just kind of please, I guess, or make the people who just really fans who just really hate the Last Jedi to have them thinking, well, maybe like I said, Ricardo, maybe yeah, Grogu did survive. Maybe there was one other student who lived, right, who survived, and that was him, right? Yeah, so something along that line. But I do like the fact that technically he is the first student, or maybe he is one of the first few students, that Luke will train, right?
Right.
But it's just a question to see what kind of led him to be sort of a cynical atheist. You know what I mean? Sorry, for Jedi atheist at the end of end of it all. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that was nice, and credits rolling, great music, all that kind of stuff.
Right. There
I
we
did
get
like,
post
okay, like
credits.
like I know we're gonna get a post credit scene. I want to see
Yeah.
what it is. Maybe it'll be about what
Panda,
happened to Mando afterwards. But no, it's
panda,
another
panda, panda,
panda
panda.
panda 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 scene, and I dig it. I really really dug it.
Yeah.
And essentially, in a nutshell, it's Boba Fett going to Jabba's
Roll palace.
palace,
Yeah, and kill it
right?
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bib Fortuna is
Right.
there, and well, him and gosh, forgetting names. Yeah, him and Fennec show up and
Right.
basically kill this guy, kill his goons and whatnot. There's
Yeah,
this
that's
alien chick who's chained up. She's freed as well.
yeah.
And yeah, Boba just sit on the throne, and then we get the book of Boba Fett
Yeah,
coming
God.
December
Uh,
2021. I was
more
like,
panda, panda,
all right,
panda,
all right, bro. Okay,
panda,
okay.
panda, panda, panda. That is what it is. Because how much for them damn nerds since Return of the Jedi always want Boba Fett to be a badass. They get him to be a badass this season, and now we get to be a evil badass this season because he got back to crime, whatever it is. Or
Well, will
mercenary.
he though? Will he? I
I
don't know. I don't
remember.
know.
Yeah, yeah,
I
he
just
take
feel
over Jabba.
he'll just be like a sort of like some anti-hero kind of character.
Right.
Like he'll just go for all the people who wrong them or who wronging
Well,
people. Like, it's all about
right.
justice, right?
Right.
That's the vibe I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
I this is more panda, 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 panda. But anyway, I find well the thing is I want to see what they're gonna do going forward because it have a bunch of spin-off shows that could possibly be the case. I think Fennec gonna be in the Bad Batch.
All right.
Um
I
the,
can live with that.
I
Yeah.
think
I
what
think
you call
Kara's
Kara
going to be in
in Rangers.
yeah,
Rangers.
Rangers.
Right. Ahsoka again show. Mandalorian, I feel Bo-Katan, well, Mandalorian, Bo-Katan gonna be in that. But then Boba Fett might be getting his own show, I'm sure.
Right.
But the big thing is, I find the thing is the central dynamic of well, it's the Baby Yoda show. That's sorry to say, that's what people watch the damn show for. So breaking up that separating Mando and Baby Yoda, I'm sure what they're gonna go for. So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I
But I do applaud the fact that at least they could kind of end the story somewhat, even though I had to do some more research. But I feel there's some sort of shenanigans behind the scenes because I
right,
think that's why oh gosh, with someone brought it up actually a video I saw where Pedro Pascal's face looks a little older, a little slightly older. Meaning the second time that you see him without his helmet. Okay, see, basically he takes it off twice in the series now, but
right.
he takes it off near the end and he looks like a little bit different. I don't know. I'm not sure if he like is some kind of contracting. Maybe he's coming back to play the role, but in another show, some kind of thing going on behind the scenes. I didn't even know all that, but I
Right.
just feel like they just did that and basically just had the stuntman just be in the film, basically.
Right.
Yeah, some kind of stuff. I really do need to do my research on that.
Right.
Maybe point is maybe that's why all these decisions were maybe that's why they had to get rid of Grogu. Sorry, you know what I mean. They had to do
I
that because of reasons. I
I
don't
don't know.
know, but you know,
The thing is, they still the name of the movies, the name of the shows in Mandalorian, they still have to catch Mandalore back. I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll find out.
yeah.
I
But one last thing though,
yeah,
I'm curious to see how things will play out post Grogu, right? Because
right,
yeah, I think that his character could pretty much function on his own, right? Yes, I know Baby Yoda was his cell. I know that.
yeah,
But though it was more the action and the kick-ass stuff,
right,
involving Mando, right? So I
right,
think he could handle things fine. But um, it's just that John Favreau and his team they just have to maintain the strong writing and somehow be able to carry that across a bunch of different shows too. So people don't get bored of a Mando and say, "Hey, I'll watch Ahsoka," because Mando's not going anywhere. It's not as cool as it was because Baby Yoda
right.
wasn't there, man. I don't know, but we'll see.
Listen, Disney Star Wars. We're getting to see the Star Wars move MIRV explode on us right now, and all the explosions happening at once. And yeah, just to make sure you keep your Disney Plus account going, right? That's what you
Oh
thought.
yeah,
So,
oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, as I say, it's incredibly cynical in its own way, and so, but I can't say I hate it because I'm not invested in Star Wars, and I don't care. Like Star Wars, if Star Wars evolve, what it doesn't, I don't really care personally. Not a Star Wars fan, so I didn't really hype. It didn't hype me as much as it was, but it's still pretty badass what it is. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
fun.
I thoroughly enjoyed it too. And
Yeah.
like you, I am not vested in all things Star Wars. I mean, I'm sorry, I have a life. I want to learn other things and experience other things. I don't need to stop to be like, well, that was canon before, but how it's not now, and but this guy was dead, and how you bring it back, and how you justify this. I don't have
Right.
time for that. I mean, if I'm bored, I could watch a video and they could nitpick the hell out of the final episode as much as they want to. But I went in for the entertainment. I went in for the great visuals, and I got it. For the solid storytelling and humor and just breathing new life into the world of Star Wars, and that's what I got. And yeah, I can't complain about that, man. Little flaws and all, right? But yeah, rating wise, like 4.5 out of 5 for me, man. This second season just knocked it out the park for me. It maintains the goodness, or it's just the greatness of the first season. It doesn't do anything too out there, right? It doesn't like
Yeah.
try to be too dark, or oh well, this is the
Nope.
new
Do
season, so we have
not
to be better.
do
That
not
we have to be as
rock
dark as no,
the
no, no. It
boat.
doesn't do that. Right,
Do
yeah,
not rock
exactly.
the boat.
Don't
Do
rock the
not
boat.
rock the
It
boat at all.
just
At all.
maintains the same pace, the same
Safety.
vibe,
Yeah.
same joy, right?
You have a
And
bunch
I
of
would say in general, if you have enjoyed the first season, yeah, you will have a blast with the second season.
yeah.
If you're a real diehard Star Wars nerd, you might nitpick at certain things, but that's on you. But just kind of watch the show and have
A
fun with
bunch
it, now. You know,
yeah, a bunch of Wikipedia articles you get written, right? That is what it is. It caters to the
boy.
it caters to the fan base. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I say,
But this one last thing. This one thing before you get to last what's a rated. It's just amazing how this franchise just evolved to the point that you could like just come up with an idea and just think it works and just roll with it,
right,
and then someone come and say, but that goes against what happened before, and it's like, come
no,
on, I just want to
nobody
tell a good story, man. Shit.
right.
But anyway, last words a rating on Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, as I say, we get everything, in reference and jokes and remind me of this, that's the other. And sorry to say it's Star Wars car evolve, but I don't really care. More McClunky, we get McClunky at the end and everything, right? I still enjoy it. 7 out of 10, it's fine. Um, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. It is. And yeah, I mean, sky's the limit, literally, for, the world of Star Wars and, yeah, Disney Plus as a whole, man. So we'll see what these spin off shows could do. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be its own little, TV cinematic universe, of course. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.